man. Welcome to the program. As my boy Blake says, supreme ball knowers. And I'll tell you what, when it comes to the pigskin, he is a supreme pigskin knower. One of the best to do it. I will tell anybody. I just told Blake the same thing. Ted knows exactly what I'm about to say. 3-time Super Bowl winner, my former co-host, and just an all-around good dude, the one, the only, Mr. Ted Johnson. Teddy J, it's been long overdue. How are you, my friend?
Freddie, what's up, bro? It's such an honor to be on with you tonight. I missed you, pal. I'm doing great. There's a lot for us to get into, man. But I love hearing you, back on the airways, man. And so, congratulations, and let's talk some ball, man. I appreciate the intro, always over the top. But
absolutely. You know how we do.
Freddie D.
Hey, look, if I'm not hyping you up, then we're not doing it right. I mean, let's call it what it is, okay? Blake knows how we do it over here.
I feel like the awkward new girlfriend. That just
hey, Blake, just sit there and chill for a little bit, and then you'll know when to jump in. You'll be all right.
So I got to ask you, Ted, how surprised are you that your former head coach, Bill Belichick, is now in the college ranks?
It is a story up here that people really can't wrap their arms around. They don't know what to think of it. They really don't. There's so many of my colleagues up here in the media that feel like this job is so beneath Bill Belichick that it just doesn't even register on the radars up here in people's psyche to think that would even have been an option. He's been a NFL coach for 40 friggin' years, you guys, so it's all we've ever associated him with was the pro game. No one ever thought to think that maybe he would want to go down that path. Now, I think, guys, and this is a prevailing thought up here, is that part of what the deal is with Bill taking the job at UNC is partly because he knows he probably does not have many options in the pro game. The 3 vacancies that are up right now for head coaching jobs, none of those teams reached out to Bill. His agent, Neil Kornrich, I'm sure he's called around to kind of get feelers out there, like who's interested. And probably they just didn't like what they heard back. Bill probably wants to go into the perfect situation, right? If it was going to be an NFL team where he didn't have to take a long time to rebuild, that it was going to be an easy kind of thing. And it just, those opportunities and situations are, they're not going to present themselves to him. And so you saw that last year in the hiring cycle. Only one team showed any interest in him, in Atlanta. And then you saw how that ended up. And so to me, this is him kind of in a way saving face. That's really kind of what it is at the end of the day. We all know he loves coaching, but he also is a very prideful person. And this is kind of his way of saying, you know what, NFL, I don't need you, man. Look, I got my own thing. I've always wanted to go to UNC where my dad goes and that kind of thing. And you're going to hear that. I'm looking at ESPN.com right now. And it's like, the storyline is this is a dream job for Bill. Like, really, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of kind of perks and things that come with this job. There's a lot of challenges with this job that's going to be interesting to see how he navigates. But there's a lot of things that really kind of scratch that itch for him at this point in his career when it comes to, people, boosters kissing his ass, kissing the ring. Young players are going to listen to whatever the hell he says, and I think it's, he loves that power and being in that position at this stage of his career. That college game, kids are going to, I think they're going to respect him. They're going to kiss the ring, and they're gonna want to be coached by Bill Belichick. So I think for him it's not as surprising and it's not as shocking, in my opinion, as what a lot of folks up here think. They just think this job is way beneath them.
All right, now real quick, he's got a $10 million buyout. That drops to $1 million on June 1st of 2025. So there's some speculation. And I said this the other day. I wonder if, look, his son's the coach in waiting, right? He's the DC, and look, we're both dads. Look, and after what Dion did over at your alma mater, hey, I'm all for guys taking care of their sons. Is there a chance if he goes and takes care of his business maybe in a year or two that this guy and the NFL says, okay, Bill's still got his fastball, that he might make his way back to the NFL?
Dude, it's you know what, Freddie, it's It's a theory that's being floated out there. I would come at you hard if you came at me with that theory. If we were doing a show together, I would slap it down. I think the NFL's already spoken on Bill Belichick.
Okay.
I really think that's, the last couple of years it really pretty much tells you what they think of Bill Belichick. And I don't care if he goes and he wins the ACC for the first time since 1980. It's kind of crazy. Wow. that UNC hasn't won the ACC championship since 1980. He goes and wins the ACC championship. I just think his kind of reputation amongst owners is kind of cemented. I just think they all kind of have a feeling about who he is and really what he's about. And I don't think he's ever going to get a shot in the NFL. And, he went on pretty strong in his press conference today, his introductory press conference today in Chapel Hill, and laid it on pretty thick about him not being a flight risk. So I think he's there to stay, brother. This is his last ride, and he's going to, sail into the sunset, after whether this works or whether it blows up in his face. I don't think it's going to blow up in his face.
Right.
But I also don't think it's going to be.
This ain't Saban taking over Alabama.
What's that?
This ain't Saban taking over Alabama.
Dude, Saban was in his prime when he got to Alabama.
Right.
Sorry, bro. Bill was sharp in his press conference today, man. I mean, I'm telling you guys, he answered everything with clarity, and he seemed to be kind of on it. But dude, it is such a hard job, and it's just, at his age, I'm sorry, I don't care how much stamina you think you have. It's going to be a lot. He's got to deal with boosters. He's got to deal with so many other things that he didn't have to worry about in the NFL. So from just a cognitive bandwidth standpoint, it's going to be very, very challenging. But again, he's a messiah. He's going down there and he's going to take this program to a place they've never been before. So he's energized with that too, right? So as hard as it's going to be, he's going to be energized by all the lap dances he's given, by him, just with his, rightfully so, with his accomplishments. The school and the community is going to embrace him and want to see him succeed.
Ted, Blake Elliott, I just want to say it's a pleasure having you on the show. I want to pivot it a little bit, kind of going to Jerry. How do you think Jerry Jones took this news? Do you think it caught him by surprise? Do you think there was a real possibility of him being the Dallas Cowboys' next head coach? And how do you think this affects their head coaching search, if there even is one?
Okay, so Freddie, pay attention. But take note. Blake bringing it back to the home team is always smart. When I'm doing a show down in Dallas, you want to bring it back to home team. Good job, Blake.
Yes, sir.
So let's bring it back there. My guess is, it probably took Jerry a little bit by surprise. Again, I just don't think this was on anybody's radar. I really don't. It was interesting. Let's face it. I mean, a lot of teams that Bill was linked to was one of them was the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't know about you guys and how you felt about it. I just think, I think, look, these are two alphas in their respective fields. Ownership-wise, we all know Jerry's he's the alpha, and Bill in the coaching community, he's the alpha. And so I think it's more about mutual respect. I don't think the last thing these two could ever do is cohabitate and work together. They might say it, they might say all the right things, but it just, to me, it was never going to be that way. I mean, you need more of a meek, kind of subservient coach like you have right now.
I was going to say, you mean like a Mike McCarthy?
Like a Mike McCarthy that's just, whatever, the do boy. And that's not Bill's style. And so my guess is that Jerry probably was as surprised as all of us. But I would love to know maybe for a fact what, and really know what Jerry was thinking about Bill as a possible candidate to coach. But I just stylistically, those two I can't ever see those two ever marrying up. So I was surprised about that.
What do you think of Mike McCarthy?
Dude, you know what? I think of Mike McCarthy I'm looking out the window. I see I think a dog without its owner right now. He's just kind of lost, stray, like a stray dog out there. I mean, I'm worried. Hey, is he okay? I mean, I hope he gets home. I don't know. There's nothing to him. He's just like this. He's just there. He's just like this kind of. I mean, what does he bring to the table? I was thinking about this, guys. Freddie, Blake, I'm thinking about this. I'm like, how would I describe the Dallas Cowboys? And it's it is just the offense is it's kind of like the old Green Bay Packers offense. I played when I was in the Super Bowl in 1996. Brett Favre was our quarterback. It was kind of this predictable offense that you kind of, if you could break the code, and you could beat it. But they just had so many good players at all the positions that even if you knew what was going to come, they were just better at you executing it. And like Dallas has a kind of simplistic, very predictable, kind of just outdated offense. And if you're going to do it that way, okay, you better have elite talent at every single position. And you got to be able to, be a good signal caller in the right situations, in 2 minute, end of game, using that and the clock management stuff. And it's just, there's none of that with Mike McCarthy. He doesn't bring anything. He's not a forward-thinking guy from an offensive standpoint. I don't look at his leadership and his coaching traits to be that, high level either. Like, it's just an overall, leader.
He's just a nice
guy. Guys are inspired and want to play for. So I just don't see him being really much of anything. I mean, he's okay, but he's not going to take you where you ultimately want to go.
No, look, I mean, that's been he's a guy that, the old saying goes, you'd love to have a beer with, talk a little shop with, but as far as like being a killer, I mean, it's just not in his, and then of course he's got Brian Schottenheimer who, I mean, we can talk Marty Schottenheimer for days. It's not like he's known for his offensive ingenuity by any means. So, that's your guy as your OC. I mean, we're not breaking any land speed records here for offensive ingenuity here in Dallas. Teddy J, last thing, we're up against it. I got about 30, 45 seconds. I said before the season started that I thought Drake May was going to be the best quarterback out of this class, okay?
Freddie, are you serious? Are you
hand to God.
Right now?
Hand to God. Now, I had a crazy reason for it, and you of all people would appreciate this. First of all, I heard him. You know me. I'm easily persuadable. I heard an interview he did with Adam Schefter before the draft. Okay, and I was like, this dude is off the chain. But more importantly, you know what he has in common with Pat Mahomes? You ready for this? Same girlfriend since 7th grade.
Oh, there you go.
Book it. Book it.
Psychological.
Bro, no succubus. No succubus. Right? No succubus. Hey, what we talk about? What we talk about?
Believe it. Okay, that is an old theory. A lot of your listeners don't know what you're saying. So you gave me 30 seconds to respond. Well, your question was a minute long.
Thank you.
Give you 60. Give you 60.
Oh, my God.
Give you 60.
Quickly, here it is, right? Blake, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Dude, I love the kid. I freaking love this kid. His leadership qualities are amazing. This is a guy, you're going to start listening to the offensive coordinator. They've played Mike McDaniels. They've played Sean McVay. These coaches are like calling him a stud. They're like, this kid is unbelievable. Like when you have offensive minds that you play, against, and they have to watch him play, and they're saying that after these games, guys, I'm seeing things from Drake Manning I've never really seen in a quarterback. He is so smooth. It looks effortless. When you see an athlete on the field, those are all superior athletes out there playing.
Yeah.
When you see one that still rises above them, it's like, and it looks easy to him. That's Drake May. And guys, he's smart. He's got guts. He's unbelievably athletic. And if you ever just want to watch again, watch his arm angles. He's got all the arm angles, and he does the little things. Once this team starts winning some games, and they have it on the national platform, you're gonna watch his game and be like, "Holy, Freddie!" Sounds like you know.
No,
I'm blown away by how good this guy is. I think they got a special player.
No, I've been watching a little Drake May. I've kind of got on the Drake May bandwagon this past summer. So no, I'm big on the Drake May deal. Look, Teddy J, we could do this for a whole another hour.
Dude,
hey,
I got bad. I want to know what are the Mavericks bringing this year? They got anything for the Celtics this year? I mean, I don't know. If they face each other again, can we make a series out of it? I don't know.
I'll tell you what, let's do this. Well, that's a great point. That's a great point.
You guys got a nice little basketball team down there.
Look,
my goodness.
We just did Mavs After Dark. So I'll tell you what, let's do this. After after the year's over, all right, after the Cowboy season's over, we only got 4 more weeks, so it'll be done before you know it. Blink and you miss it. We'll do this again, and we'll do a little playoff preview, and we'll talk some Mavs. How about that?
I look forward to it, Freddie. Be good, okay?
All right,
Blake,
Teddy.
You guys take care. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.